Hello, I'm Bernard Norcott-Mahany. I work at the Blueford branch at the Kansas City Public Library. April is National Poetry Month, and during April I read poems aloud. For 2022, I am reading Horace's Odes, some of Horace's Odes aloud. So we're using Horace is a Roman poet, so he wrote in Latin. We're not reading the Latin, but reading David Ferry's translation. There aren't a lot of good translations of Horace. Ferry's probably the best of the bunch. So today's poem is a poem, Ode 6 of Book 1. So Ovid wrote 4 books of odes. The first 3 books were published as a set. So this is from Book 1. Poem 6. This is to a man named Agrippa. Agrippa was a general and sort of an admiral who served with Augustus. He was responsible for the great sea victory at Actium, where the forces of Octavius defeated those of Mark Antony and Cleopatra. So this is a poem to him. In this poem, Horace basically, I don't know if Agrippa asked Horace to maybe write a poem about him or for him in his honor, but Horace basically, this is I'm not worthy to do such a thing. The person you need is a guy named Varius. Now, Varius was Lucius Varius Rufus was his name. He was a poet. None of his work survives. We have quotations. He wrote a tragedy called the Thyestes, which would be based on Greek originals, and that play was achieved some notoriety. He's most famous for being one of the people who edited Virgil's Aeneid when Virgil died. So Virgil died before he completed the Aeneid, and Virgil wanted the work destroyed, but Augustus wanted it published, and Varius was one of the people who helped, get that ready for publication, in effect. So he's he would be well known to the audience that Horace is speaking to. So Horace says, Varius would be the guy to write an epic about you, because you're so great. I write about all sorts of stuff, whatever comes to mind. So this, at any rate, is poem 6 from Book 1 of Horace's Odes to Agrippa. It takes a poet such as Varius, capable of Homeric flight and range, to praise your deeds of courage and the events of victory, whether by ship or by cavalry. I don't pretend to sing about such things as the stubborn, peevish anger of Achilles, or duplicitous Ulysses' wanderings, or the ferocious house of Atreus. Not for me. Self-knowledge and the muse of peaceful things prohibit me from dimming with my verses your glory and the glory of great Caesar. Who is it who is worthy to write the story of Mars in his adamantine armor, or Meriones covered with Trojan dust, or Diomedes in battle against 2 gods? It falls to me to make up easygoing songs about such battlefields as parties, epic encounters between young men and women. Sometimes I write them because I've fallen in love. Sometimes I write them just for the fun of it. So that was Ode 6 from Book 1 of Horace's Odes to Agrippa.